Thank you for your patience. And good evening, I am Donna Howe. And how many parents do we have here tonight? Or that would admit it? Okay. How about any teachers? Great. Okay. How many of you at least know a horse? Okay, awesome. Okay, now you don't have to raise your hand for this, but how many of you know someone in your life that may have special needs of some kind? It could be emotional, physical, and they're not always out there at you. You know, you want because people have different needs, and I am the founder of Equine Spirits, Kindred Spirits Equine Academies, and the first day I started teaching, I knew what I wanted to do when I retired. And I've always had either a horse in my hand or a kid all my life. And it's just a part of me. It's an extension of my life. And now I want to show other people what a horse can do for them, as they've done for me. And I've had horses for over 40 years. I've been teaching for 25 years. I currently teach and substitute at Washington County Schools. And God gave me a special love for people and horses. And horses saved my life, not necessarily physically, but emotionally and spiritually. And that's why I want to give back what I have been given with horses. And the way I want to do this is with equine assisted learning. Now, this is not a riding program. This is teaching experiential learning, and it's an approach which promotes the development of life skills applicable to academic, personal, or professional pursuits through equine guided activities. And I did have Pee-wee that I would like to have introduced you to tonight, but I don't want you to get soaked. But horses will be our educational resource, so that when we educate children and adults through their social challenges or through fun and interactive activities, that it doesn't feel like you're learning, because they're just so enthralled with the horse. With the two volunteers that I asked to help me, would you please come down?
You didn't change your mind.
No. And Brittany, would you stand there, please? And Mike, would you stand here for me? Thank you very much. Just stay there, honey. I would like to introduce you to my husband, Jerry, and he will be my facilities, equipment, and equine herd manager. And along with our equine partner, Pee-wee, which will be my granddaughter, Avery, and one of our ambassadors, Austin. They're going to be stepping in for Pee-wee. One of the things I was going to ask you to do in a closed environment this small, I was going to ask you, instead of clapping, we do this. Because it doesn't, when you're clapping in a small area, it sounds like firecrackers to horses. So if you have dogs, horses react the same way. If they're accustomed to it, they're fine. But Pee-wee's not been around a lot of shooting close by. So anyway, that's what I would have asked you to do for that. Okay, Jerry, would you please bring Pee-wee in, a.k.a. Avery and Austin? That's good. And if y'all would scoot back just a little bit closer to the screen. And this is a dance lesson with Pee-wee. And before we start this, Brittany and Mike, I want you to do something for me. I want you to start walking toward each other. But I want you to stop when you feel comfortable at the distance between you. Okay, go ahead.
Is she a horse?
No, she's human. Okay, all right. So why did you stop there, Brittany?
I'm one of these people. I have a bubble.
Okay, Mike?
She's stopped, so I stopped.
Okay, good. All right. Thank you, Brittany. You may sit. Mike, you're still a victim. I mean volunteer, so you stand right here. Okay, so did you notice their answers? Horses are the same way. They feel and think like humans. They have a horsenality. And that's something, I forgot to get that handout. Would you try to find that handout? I apologize. Should be in an envelope. It has horsenalities. It should be in a manila folder like this. So this is a dance lesson with Pee Wee. And I'm going to make sure that I have everything. Now, Mike, this is what I want you to do. This is Pee Wee's nose and head right here. Now, horses have a friendly zone. And when you approach a horse, I don't know if you've ever went to a horse and you come up to right here and they jerk their head back. They don't know you're there. They sense you're there, but they'll jerk their head back. So the friendly horse, when you approach a horse, the friendly zone is this area right here. So you want to approach a horse from this side. So Mike, if you don't mind coming over here, and I would, as you approach Pee Wee, I would like to, and approach this friendly zone, I would like you just to extend your hand out, and when you think that he's accepted you, then you can go ahead and I'd like for you to touch him on his shoulder. Okay? Okay, just go ahead, and would you change your right hand with your left? Okay, good. Okay. Now that Pee Wee's accepted you, if Pee Wee'd have been here, he would have looked right at him because he doesn't know him. Plus, he has a yellow shirt on. That's another reason I chose him. Okay, now I want you to very gently put your hand, extend your arms, on Pee Wee's back right here. Put your right hand. Yeah, this is Pee Wee's back right here.
Okay.
This is his back end right here. Okay? All right, now. Jerry is going to ask Pee Wee to walk 2 steps forward and 2 steps back. And I'd like for you just to move with Pee Wee. Okay?
1 minute.
Okay. And 2 steps back. Good. All right, now, how did that feel?
Fine.
Okay. Now, if we really had Pee Wee here, you might have been a little more anxious and things. And as a kid, I would say, okay, if they're not comfortable, then I would ask them, well, we need to do this friendly game with you some more. Thank you so much, Mike. Appreciate your help. Thank you, girls. Like I said, equine assisted learning is taught from the ground. It's not a writing program. It's a teaching program. And individuals see horses from a different way than when they think, oh, I'm going to ride the horse. When you're trying to, okay. But I'd like to say the greatest reward and gratification for me is to see a young woman gain self-confidence and just a better self-esteem, and if a young man would gain empathy and respect. And that's my greatest goal for this program. Thank you. Okay. Any questions?
You are a startup business, aren't you?
Yes, sir, I am.
Do you currently have clients or people that you're working with?
I currently have a waiting list a mile long.
Okay.
Because people are waiting. Aberdeen used to have a leg up program, which was therapeutic riding, and it no longer exists. And since I've been in Washington County, which I've been here all my life, but since I've been back teaching, I've talked with teachers and principals about this program. And every time I see them, have you started, have you started? So it is definitely a great need in this community. I want to be a stakeholder and help my community in this way, and I think it's the best way that I could because it's just an extension of me and what I do already.
So as far as you know, there aren't any other equine learning centers in the area?
Not this type. And we are going to be a mobile unit. And the closest one is in Kingsport, which is about 60 miles from here. And that's a long way for special needs, even for parents. That's a long way for, to drive. So that's why my heart is here, and I want to start it close by so that they'll have that convenience.
Are most of your revenue sources going to be parents who want to get their children into something like this? Is there insurance?
It will, yes, it will be one of the resources. I'm going to target Washington County schools, and that will be my first resource that I'm going to use as a kind of a foundation for the rest of them. But I'm also targeting any kind of counseling centers, developmental centers with special needs kids who aren't in school yet. With our insurance, we can but we can work with kids as young as 4. And our insurance is with North American Horsemen's Association. And we are LLC. I've already got we're ready to start. And as of Monday at 4 o'clock, a lady offered us the old Leg Up building. So this is just mushroomed and so I'm going to start a whole new business plan only because to add that facility, because I was going to do that like a year. So now we have that facility, and so it's just mushroom. And then the hour later, a lady heard about that. She called me and says, I want to be an instructor. What do I need to do? Which is a training program to be credentialed so that insurance will back us up. So it is just, God has just blessed immensely.
So what sort of needs do you have for the money if you
The 5,000. We have purchased our website domain, and I would like to develop it. And there's a special lift for kids who are in wheelchairs, and it's very pricey. And I would like to purchase that so that we can help those kids with special needs that can't get out of a wheelchair.
My only question is, you've answered a number of them. A mobile unit, describe what you mean by a mobile unit. You take the horse to the kid, I assume?
Yes, sir. I will be, we have a truck and several trailers, and we will take the horse to the school. And like, for instance, one session would be 2 hours per school, okay? We'll have 30 minutes per child, and I'm going to, starting out, I'm going to take up to 2, because the mobile unit will consist of the truck, the trailer, and kind of like a small fencing area. We call it round pens, but it's not going to be that big. Then each child will have 30 minutes with me. And children that are called out of the classroom, that is normally the amount of time that the teachers can be with them. And I'm going to start, the first session will start at 9 and I'll end at 11. All this is depending on what the schools want. And since I'm a teacher, I can take any lesson that they have and put it within, and this is some of my curriculum, cowboy poetry, and this is like teaches respect, communication, cooperation, all the character skills that are already taught in the school. But with this, it's doing it with the horse, and it really sticks to the kids because they see it, and they, the horse, learning how to respect a horse and know how to approach a horse like I showed here. This lesson taught respect, safety, connection, and empathy. And all those things, and that's the first thing that we teach kids is safety. So that when they're around a horse, they know how to respect it, which they have a lot of trouble with teachers and their peers with respect nowadays, unfortunately. So that is part of the reason. In the session, theoretically, I could do 2 schools a day. To meet my break-even point, I need $7,500 a month. At a minimum, I only need to work 9 schools out of a possible 20 in a month. And then I have 45% time where I can devote developing more horses, and also if I need more funds, I'll have an avenue there where I'm not taking up every single moment of my time. So it's only 45% of my time but it's helping me break even on my cash flow.
Okay. I think we need to round that up, because we've got
Okay.
a lot of more people to go to. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you. I'll be glad to introduce you to Pee Wee sometime. Thank you. Thank you, Sandy.
Uh, 80% of my materials are free. I pick up bottles from the old mill in Damascus. I give them a great big bin, and they throw their bottles in it, and I pick it up once a week. And I have several restaurants the other restaurants that I pick it up from. I have bartender friends that save them for me. Friends and family bring them to me. Customers bring them to me. I get them out of the recycle bins, and I dumpster dive. And I really get some odd looks when I pull up to one of those big recycling places, and I jump out of my little truck and I get my little grabber thing out, and I go over there and I start, trying to get bottles with it, grab a hold of them. And at first I started explaining, I do recycled art, so they wouldn't know I was crazy. Now I don't care, I just go do it. And then all the glass that I break, which happens a lot, you might work on 4 or 5 different bottles or something, and probably 2 of them are going to break. But I convert that broken glass into glass frit by crunching it up, and then I sift it, and then I can use that in a jewelry molds to fuse it together. Uh-oh. This is some of my unique fused glass jewelry. This is 3 layers of glass, a black layer on the bottom, scrap dichro in the middle, and clear on the top. And I get the clear pieces mostly from glass companies that cut their all fall off and just scrap and pieces like that. So I do some abstract stuff. I love the abstract. And this is one that is made with glass frit. It's made in a kiln with the glass and a mold. And of course, I gotta have the peace signs. Like this right here will be a crunched up Bud Platinum bottle that I made. Okay, and some of the unique stuff. This one right here is the top of a liquor bottle, and I cut it down and I melted it in a kiln. So now to the recycled bottles. These are my beer bottle glasses, and these right here are some of my best sellers. That kind of glass is. It's the Bud Light lime bottle, and it's extremely hard to cut because if you've ever seen it, it's a curvy bottle. It's crooked, so it's kind of hard to cut. This is another one of my best sellers, the Rolling Rock bottle glass. And I made these for the local vet in Damascus for his wedding. I made a pair of those for their champagne glasses. That's the Bud Platinum bottle, which is my favorite. This was a complete wine bottle, and I made it into a wine goblet and a liquor glass, or whatever kind of glass you want to make it. Kool-Aid glass or whatever. And this is the same thing. This is a Coke bottle shot glass, which is kind of big, so I call it a triple shot glass. These are the old Coke bottles. This is the type of lights that I hang up. The bottom right here, that is the bottom of that bottle cut off and melted in a kiln. I make wind chimes out of those. And all the signature on the back, everybody that comes in, I get them to sign my wall and tell me where they're from. This is some more of the hanging stuff. We have a pergola that we hang stuff from, and over on this side, you can't see it, we have an actual porch built inside the store with a roof on it and everything. That's where the pallet furniture is going to go. I do custom etching. If I can't find a stencil, I make it myself from contact paper. But if I had a glass etching machine, I could load it on a computer and it would be a whole lot easier. Right now I do it in a sandblasting cabinet. And this is a liquor bottle light. These are beer bottle lamps. These beer bottles are unique. They're called Lucky Buddha beer bottles. And I found 6 of them in a recycle bin, not broke or anything. I don't know why somebody would throw those away. This is how I use all parts of the bottle. This is the bottom of a wine bottle, and I'm using it as a candle holder. And this is my just plain weird stuff. This is an old-timey crock. You know what old-timey crock is? And I took my Blue Moon lids and I did it like tile. I had to put cork underneath each one of them, little circles, so they wouldn't deflect. And I grouted it in just like tile. So that's a table that I use on my porch. This is a coaster, a beer coaster made from the beer lids. This is my beer bottle flower bed border. And as you can tell, Blue Moon is my favorite beer. And this is like some of the frames that we make out of pallets. And this is some of the abstract stuff. This is the top of a beer bottle, and that's a bunch of confetti glass, and that's a scrap piece of glass it's sitting on, and I just melted it all together in a kiln. And then this is a wine rack that has some of my wine bottles in it. This is my workstation that we custom made out of pallets because I wanted to stay with the recycled theme. This is a custom countertop we made for Paul in his gym in Damascus. And that's it. Any questions?
You're a startup business in Damascus, right?
Well, I'm not really a startup. I opened it last May and got a business license, so I'm in between, so I guess you could say I'm expanding.
about your financials in.
I have a full-time job, and that's how I finance my store. I put all my own money into it right now. So I'm hoping to get it on its own feet so I don't have to do that.
One question I guess I would have is how do you think you're gonna go from this, your current status to being able to jump into it full-time? What is that?
Well, I'm going to do it slowly. I don't want to do it real fast at one time, but I've had a huge interest in custom etching bottles, and I've done a few for weddings for the centerpiece where it has the date on it and stuff. And I've done some of the beer bottle glasses for a big wedding party. So there's a big interest in it. I just don't want to push it until I know I can handle the business. So, but that's how I plan on, I got to get my website built, just several things like that, a Facebook page done. And, I already have my logo, working on it, and a business card. And that's how I'm going to just kind of push it. And I've got some agreements to have some of my stuff displayed in local establishments so that whenever people see them, they go to eat or something, they say, where'd that come from? I say, Hippie Chick Recycled Art. That's it. You don't like to click? No, I got my iPad. I'm afraid I'll.
I'm really loud. She really doesn't need this, but you know what? We'll pacify her.
I'm gonna put it right there, that's okay.
Okay. There's one for each of you. Mike has it. Do you think, will it work from over there? Yeah. Okay. Tell me when we're ready. Okay. My name is Eva, and my husband Michael and I own Adventure Mendota. We do tubing and kayaking on the North Fork of the Holston River in Mendota, Virginia. What I'd like to do is tell you a little bit about me and Adventure Mendota before I get started. Where I launch a kayak today is where I learned to swim. It's where my sister and I baptized each other. It's when I was a little bit older, I went skinny dipping. And a little bit more, I parked up on the bank in my boyfriend's car when I was in high school. And now I'm just honored to have my little business called Adventure Mendota right there in that same spot, in the place where I was born and raised. So let me tell you the story about how we came into business. Gosh, not that long ago, we were sitting walking across our yard, and we noticed kayak trailers going up and down, up and down. They were hunting a place to get on the river. And Mike said, maybe we ought to charge them. And so we started thinking about it in terms of a business. And we decided we would go for it. 4 things occurred after that. We met with several successful river outfitters, and we learned about the business and determined whether or not it would work for us. We reviewed the 2013 Virginia Outdoor Recreation Plan to get guidance on how to operate an outdoor recreation business. Mike, he's a numbers person, so he looked at it in terms of return on investment. And then once we opened, we were still testing for the first 30 days to determine, are we going to keep doing this? We looked at our strengths, and we looked at the risks that we would have. Well, our strength was obvious. We live on a beautiful river, and we own 500 feet of riverfront property. We had a 40 by 60 metal building that was perfect for a base camp operation. We could self-fund. And then, while Mendota is out in the middle of nowhere, we realized it's 45 minutes from everywhere in the Tri-Cities geographic map. That worked well for us. The risk, well, it was the weather. It's an outdoor recreation business. But because we're self-funded, we felt like that was a risk we could take. We looked at the competition. The best competition and the nearest is Clinch River Adventures, and they're very solid. That's in St. Paul, Virginia. We thought because we're closer into the Tri-Cities geographic market, it would work for us, and it has. Also, The Clinch River is a little different than the North Fork. When you're on the Clinch, there's over a dozen public access spots where you can put your kayak in and get your kayak out. You don't really need an outfitter. On the North Fork, the banks are privately owned, very limited public access. You either have to know somebody who owns land, or own land yourself, or trespass and leave your car unattended, or you can come to Adventure Mendota. That's worked well for us. So now we're in the business, and these are the tools of our trade. Commercial inner tubes and high-quality sit-on-top kayaks, a recreational kayak designed for a recreational river. Those kayaks and tubes were good to us in 2005. Between May 9th and September 8th, our tubing revenue was $11,808. Our kayak revenue was was $32,735. And we saw 2,627 guests through our doors. That many people came to Adventure Mendota and left their dollars behind in Washington County. Where did they come from? Well, they came, 2/3 of them came from locally, but 1/3 came from other places. They came from 30 states, 2 provinces in Canada, and the District of Columbia. They found their way to my hometown. So, now we've got those customers, we've had a successful year. How do we grow this business? We're an existing business. So we went back to the 2013 Virginia Outdoor Plan. It said rely heavily on word of mouth, internet, and print. And we did that and more. We found that social media was very good to Adventure Mendota. We finished up the year with 4,200 Facebook likes and 70 positive reviews on Facebook alone. We came to the Small Business Incubator, learned how to write a press release, sent it out. It was picked up by all of the local media, and WCYB called and asked if they could go kayaking with us. Well, our phone started ringing, and it has never stopped. It is still ringing in the winter. We're booking for 2016 now. We deliver the message in other ways, though. We learned the power of the Chambers of Commerce. We belong to 3 at this time. We're in a Virginia outdoor movie. We tricked out our Fork taxi. If someone asked us to come and talk about Adventure Mendota, or they wanted us to speak, we went. I sent Mike, actually. So we also put some dollars behind this little business. Our marketing budget for 2015 was $4,374. It's right at $5,000 for this year. So now it's time to expand. And what I've been told is that when you go to a dance with someone, you should dance with them while you're at that dance. So our expansion is based on tubing and kayaking. We're going to keep dancing with those tubes and kayaks, but we're going to do it a whole lot more. There's 5 things that we're actually going to do. We put all those people on the river in a 5-day work week. We're going to expand to 7. We're adding another kayak route upriver. For our existing kayak route and our existing tubing route, we're going to launch more times daily to give more people an opportunity to get on the river. We didn't start tubing till the 4th of July. We missed a lot of revenue. We'll start on Memorial Day this year. And we're going to expand our promotional retail offerings. We're going to take advantage of that point-of-sale opportunity to increase our revenue through T-shirts, river shoes, sunglass bands, whatever. And that's going to result, that's going to result in some new employees. We're going to have 4 full-time employees this summer added to our group. We need them. Mike will tell you. And if we're selected as a grant recipient, as a small business, you know there's many places we can spend money, but we identified 3 that we're most interested in. One is additional watercraft for the people. That brings in revenue. One is that promotional apparel. That will bring in revenue. And then we want to make some upgrades to our river launch site for safety. So, the banker. You want our financial report card. Okay. We had at 2016 2 goals. Break even by the end of the 2nd season. We feel like we'll be there in August. Self-sustaining cash flow. Our goal for 2016 is to do that also. We think we'll be right around $50,000 with a cash flow at the end of the season. And why am I seeking your support tonight? Well, I want you to help me bring revenue and tax dollars into Washington County. I want you to help me create jobs for these rural college-bound youth. We get so much benefit from that money. And also, I want you to help me help Adventure Mendota become a premier destination in Southwest Virginia. Do you have any questions? And I have something else that wasn't included in this. You were getting ready to, that book, we just received that this morning. That was provided to the legislature in Virginia, and we're featured in it. And we're on the cover. Those are my kayaks. So now, any questions?
Well, obviously you're an existing business,
Mhm.
and I appreciate your presentation. I listened to you last year, and I think,
Sophomore.
I
Yeah.
think Mendota, the location,
Mhm.
is a plus for you.
Thank you.
It is. And I'm not trying to be biased here, but I do see you on Facebook,
Mm-hmm.
and my wife is a big fan of your program, so
Thank you.
from what I see, I think your business is doing well. And you mentioned you listened from last year, because last year, I asked everyone about their money,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm trying to be a little friendlier this year, but
I have a sheet this year.
it's really, you've got to keep your business afloat by cash flow.
Mhm.
And, I appreciate it.
Question I guess I
Yes.
have for you, I'm a bit of a transplant to this region, having moved here a little over a year ago, and from up in the Midwest, and there's a lot of this kind of stuff up there,
Mm-hmm.
tapping the natural resources of those regions, and I will travel a lot around the country. Have you gone and talked to anybody who's doing this in a big way, let's say in the Smoky Mountain Range or so? I mean, somebody that's doing this in a mega way.
Twin River Outfitters was the largest one, and Mike went up and spent a day with the twins at Twin River, and that is a very large outfitter. I think it's the largest in Virginia, isn't it?
It's not the largest, but I went to 6 different outfitters, the small to big ones, but, they're the mega ones. These people have mentored us, and continue to mentor us, and we've learned a lot from them to make significant improvements in our second year.
So it was fun to come back this year, though, because last year someone asked me the question, do you think anybody will come out there? And it's a question I really could not answer. I hoped that they would, and I thought that they would, but I was afraid of that question, and so that's part of the reason I wanted to come. They did come. So, any
Do you all
other?
do this full-time, both of you, or?
We are refired, not retired. Actually, I retire in 2 weeks, and I will be joining him full-time, but he's retired.
So you do right now you're doing 5 days a week. How many trips do you do in a day?
I'll tell you, we go all over the map. We probably use, somebody asked us last year on your capacity, what do you use? We're probably only at 10% of our full capacity. When you just said our first 30 days, I want you to picture.
12
we had
kayaks.
12 kayaks. And within 30 days, we went from 12 to 42 kayaks. We went from 36 tubes to 150. Okay? We had to have them for large groups, but, your first year, you were building those client relationships. Your second year, a lot of those come back, and now you're on your second wave of similar ones. So we're a small outfitter right now, okay, with potential to, become substantial without having to invest a lot more money.
It was an amazing first year. It was like drinking from a fire hose. For other entrepreneurs, I always tell them now, we prepared to fail. I don't think we ever prepared to succeed at the level that we did. And it was amazing, but it was exhausting. Any other questions? Thank you for your time. We appreciate it.
Yeah, just give us 1 second. We're trying to find the source of that
Annoyance.
chime that happens in the middle of everything.
It's not my iPad.
It's not anybody's phone or iPad, but we're trying to find the source of that.
We went before, this was presented to the legislature in Virginia 2 weeks ago. All the counties were represented. So it was
Awesome. Yay. I'm so glad to hear that. Thank you. I'm so glad you guys came by. Are we good? Oh, it's blinding. All right, we're going. Hey everyone, I'm Nicole Dyer with White Birch Juice Company here in Abingdon, Virginia. We opened in November of 2014, and we provide a variety of products, but the main product that we produce are cold pressed juices. So they're fruit and vegetable juices with about 3 pounds of fruits and vegetables per 12-ounce bottle. And we also make fresh fruit and vegetable smoothies, nut milks, popsicles, juice cleanse kits, and we have recently added grab-and-go food options for people looking for something healthy but in a quick manner.
little bit off that. One of the things that our customers have told us through the past year and almost a half of being in business is that there's no fast casual health food concept that's also chef driven and healthy and grab and go fast. We have competitors like Zazzy's and other shops, but we provide them a niche product that we're different in that sense. There's also a lack of emphasis on local in this area. We farm, we raise produce, we're pretty dedicated to the local agriculture, and we provide that in our products. There's also no fresh juice or smoothie bar in this region. We make 100% of our juice in-house. Also there's no community gathering space where there's workshops, self-focused talks, including doctors and other people in the area. Also, with our new location, we're adding a balanced concept. Healthy food can also taste really good. There's often a stigma against that. So our solution, we are expanding. If you don't know us, we started in the back of the health food store in about 100 square feet. We expanded out of that. Currently, we're in the old Wildflower building at X19. We're under construction across from the courthouse in Abingdon on Main Street. So we're going to provide the only juice and smoothie bar in the region with locally focused food. We're also co-branding with another business that I know called Farm Food to offset the overhead and allow it to be more self-stable. We are presenting house-made 100% grab-and-go food options that complement their ability.
This is a picture in the middle of the new building we're moving into. It's under construction currently. We'll be in there in probably a couple of months. And then, of course, the White Birch and the Farm Food logos, and just a picture of one of our juices up top there with some muffins that we've made from some of the carrot pulp from the juicing. One of the several options that we choose to use the pulp for. And then
Yeah, we exercise a full circle food system. So what we don't use in our baked products, or for instance, our hummus, which we make with our carrot pulp, we feed to our pigs actually that we use for softening our breakfast soup.
pulp-fed pork. So our main target market, especially for the juice, is women from ages 20 to 30, and then working professionals, millennials, and then the tourists who are mainly living an active lifestyle, seeking something healthy, quick, on the go, and then, of course, the health challenged. As we naturally age, those natural aches and pains, as well as sickness and disease, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, diabetes. So helping people find food that works for their unique body and that can help them feel really good each day. So how our juice is a bit different from any juice that you'd find in the grocery store. We don't pasteurize the juice, so it's 100% raw, which means all of the enzymes in the juice are still living. So that means when you drink it, you actually feel quick energy within the body. We also, in terms of comparing ourselves to a cafe or another coffee shop, like Kyle mentioned, the concept of local. No other cafe in the region is focusing on locally produced meats and vegetables, and we'll be sourcing 100% of our meats from local growers in the region. And then in terms of online juice, you can purchase juice cleanses through the mail and have them shipped to you. But what is lacking there is that sense of personal connection. So we meet with each and every one of our juice cleansees and kind of create a customized plan for them and help them reach specific health goals. And they can talk to us one-on-one. They have support throughout the cleanse via email, text or phone, and in person. So that's something that kind of sets us apart from any other juice business. So in terms of direct sales, we'll be at the juice bar and at the new cafe when we move into the new location. We also have these pod locations where our employees sell juice on our behalf at different fitness centers and yoga studios. And in Johnson City, we have a couple of sales reps who have been working with us one-on-one, creating a way to distribute our cleanse kits. So we'll have them, we'll meet with them, deliver cleanse kits to several people at a time, a way to kind of spread the knowledge and spread that education about how the cleanses work. We've done several events, music festivals, yoga festivals. We've also sold at the Abingdon Farmers Market throughout the whole season, and we do ship cleanses sometimes via mail.
So as far as our marketing is concerned, in the first year we really have been sort of trying to test the waters and understand the market, because something similar to what we've done is done in Nashville or in tier 2 or 3 cities, not so much in a small town like that. So we've sort of restricted our marketing to make sure that we supply an organic growth model in business, cash flowing itself 100%. So we use Facebook and other social media platforms, including Instagram. We are in the Barter Theater seasonal program. We've got a lot of response from tourists through the Barter Theater, actually, and we do a lot of activities with actors and actresses, and we've done programs with the stage managers and things like that. We're also working on a lunchbox concept for the Creeper Trail, where we can provide 100%. You get a juice, chicken salad sandwich, homemade granola, a side of fruit, all together. We're working with a bike shop right now to try to launch this concept. There's a large percentage of tourism in this area is for the Creeper Trail, so we're going to tag that local agriculture along with it with our fresh product. Another thing where we haven't launched yet, but we have in our marketing plan, is radio ads based on the demographic reach of that specific radio channel. We have 1 or 2 in mind right now. We also do weekly customer cards to loyal customers, and we're expanding on that with our new location. So financial projection. This is cash flow for 2016. As you can see, in January of this year, we spent about $12,000 of our own money.
Well, back to that previous slide, the one with the financials, I mean, where do you see yourself being in 5 years?
With both concepts, we should be doing about 700 to 800,000.
Employees would be,
What's that?
how many employees would you have there?
I haven't done an analysis 5 to 7 years out, but not pretty good in getting this initial concept launched.
Can you go back to the prior slide?
Sure.
So is there something happening in July and October?
Quarterly taxes.
That would be payroll taxes.
Yeah, and
How
sales.
many employees do you have now?
Do we have now? We have 5 employees. And we had as many as 8 last year, and we scaled down with our candidates.
Well, I've got to say, you're a repeat presenter from last year as well, and good job, really good job. I can tell you your products, and I try to tell it like I see it, the convention and those becoming very well known, I think. And your products, I see them coming in our workplace, late morning, early lunch, and, that might be a market for you and for the other food people. There is a huge lunch market here in town. So
Yeah,
your products are working their way through.
Yeah, we're hoping to fill that, definitely.
So, my last question is, do you all have any plans on putting like the calorie and the other nutrition information on the bottles?
Yes, we
I know
will
some
be.
of them are on your website.
Yes, we have them on the website currently, and we will be putting them on the bottle along with an image of what is in the bottle in terms of how much of each fruit or vegetable.
As your business grows, do you think there will be ample supply of local fruits and vegetables?
With this region, there's a very long growing season in this region, and farmers, a lot of the growers we work with have worked with extended season techniques, so they have low tunnels, and they've really done a great job providing us produce all year round, actually through the winter. So in terms of produce, we have it looks really good for us, and then we'll be growing some of it ourselves. We grew some last year, and then in terms of meat, we don't have too big of an issue because we have a walk-in freezer space, so we can stock up for the whole season. So, and pigs don't mind the snow, so that's always good. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you need this, I bet, huh? Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Whatever you want to.
Well, okay.
I'll put it on this side so that I can.
Thank you. Okay, so I go this way, right?
This way.
Okay. And am I waiting for you? Hello, everybody. I'm Stephen Kurd. I am the owner and operator of Lavelle Manufacturing. And Lavelle Manufacturing is also, it's made up of two different parts of my company. Garrick Stevens, which is the first part of my company, it's a custom design label where we do bridal, suitings, you name it, customize it, we do it. And Lavelle Denim is actually a new venture that I just got into within this past year, where we offer locally manufactured jeans that are made to your measurement. A little bit about myself. I went to design school in St. Louis, Missouri at Lindenwood University, where I studied fashion design, and I focused in tailoring and custom clothing and menswear. I moved to Chicago in 2008, and that's where I started to grow my brand. And when my clients came to me, when I was just doing menswear, they were asking me why I didn't do women's wear at the time. So I kind of expanded and did both. I tried to get into a couple different markets. I showed in New York Fashion Week. I've shown in Chicago Fashion Week. I've worked in sales. I've done marketing. I've kind of done a little bit of everything just to kind of feel out where I fit in the market. And in 2014, I realized that I didn't fit in the market there. So my husband and I relocated to Abingdon, Virginia, and I teamed up with Elsie King Manufacturing to start producing something that was locally made and affordable for the masses. So therefore, there became Lavelle Denim. One problem that I focus on in this area is keeping shopping in this area as far as custom clothing. And right now there's a big market for it. A lot of my clients travel to New York, they travel to Georgia, they travel to these bigger hubs to find stuff that's unique and one of a kind. And that's kind of what I focus in, bringing in the Garrick Stevens side to the Lavelle Denim side. And that's my client who's coming to shop with me. So being able to offer services in custom clothing, I also offer services in closet clean out where we would come into your home. We'd revamp your closet, throwing away things that are old or you couldn't wear any longer, and then also adding new pieces into it. And then also being able to locally make and manufacture clothing in this area kind of sets me apart from other businesses. One solution that I do have to the problem is being able to set myself apart from some of these other businesses that are kind of focusing on tailoring and stuff. I'm able to offer a more personal experience. You get it, it's me. So you're coming in, you're getting a custom piece of clothing from start to finish. You've got your hands in it just as much as I do. And that's really what we're selling with the brand. And being able to offer clothing, this is my more affordable side. And then if you want to come and get a $1,500 suit, we kind of offer things in a bunch of different price categories so that you can find something that fits your budget. Right now I'm focusing on two different target markets. One of them mainly being young professionals between 25 and 40 years old who can spend money on clothing in their leisure. And then my second group is well-established clients, 40 years and up, who travel, they're attending events, parties, and they've got a little bit more of an expendable income. According to my research, there are 7,780 people residing in Abingdon, and 35% of them are looking for custom clothing. So those professionals between 25 and 40 are making about $30,000 a year and spending anywhere between $500 to $1,000 on clothing to look good. And then those professionals that are a little bit older who've got a little bit more of an established income in the $60,000 range are able to spend anywhere from $1,500 and up on their clothing. So they've got a little bit more to spend. There are a couple areas of competition for me. There are a couple companies that are doing customizing as far as tailoring. One of them being Blakely Mitchell. And this is located in Bristol, Virginia. And they are focusing on a higher-end clothing brand, from shoes to hats to suits. And it's mostly tailored to menswear. And they are offering repairs and those types of services as well. William King Clothers is probably on the same level as I am as far as being able to offer custom suiting. You can go in there and get a custom suit. You can pick out the fabrics. You can get a shirt to match it. But the rest of the clothing in the store, really they're only offering tailoring and adjustments to the clothing. This is kind of what sets me apart from them, because you can get a full piece from me from start to finish, something that's going to fit you completely to your shape and size. With the Lavelle side of my company, LC King Manufacturing, because I've been doing business with them for almost a year, I've seen what their sales market is. I know the type of customer that they're marketing to. And these are people who are wanting workwear and farmers who are in the area. So really, I've got an opportunity to kind of set myself aside from them, because I'm offering something that, you can buy that $500 jacket and the $168 pairs of jeans, or you can come in and just get the jeans. So we're focusing on luxury over, I guess, workwear. So some of the ways I plan on marketing myself over the next year, and have done within this past year, are through magazines and newspapers in the area. All that stuff is free. Involving myself in local markets such as Mistletoe Market and other trade shows, which were a huge success for me this year. Social media is a big thing for me as well. Instagram, that's where I get a lot of my clients from, and Facebook. And we've also just recently put takeaway cards in some of these businesses, kind of focused on hair care and some of these other custom things like the Harvest Table and the Park Salon in Abingdon, Virginia. And then word of mouth has been my hugest revenue within this past year, and I hopefully focusing on continuing to do that this year as well. Some financial projections that I think I've skipped ahead. So right now, the funding that's needed over the next 3 years is roughly about $30,000. Within this first year, I do have a $10,000 personal investment that I will be putting in myself. And within the second and third year, I'm reaching out to private investors to help me kind of get to this next level of purchasing new machines that I need to produce these jeans on a bigger level, operations, and to be able to hire 2 to 5, hopefully 5 seamstresses to help me manufacture this on my own. Some ways I plan to do that to help me get revenue and grow my business are these avenues of being able to, promote it inexpensively, and word of mouth is really what I'm trying to do. And I plan to exceed my sales by 35% within this next year by getting clothing into local boutiques, obviously growing my client purchases, and then also doing pop-up shops in the area as well. I brought a couple samples of what we've been doing. These are all handmade by myself through LC King Manufacturing until I can do it myself. We've got 3 different styles of jeans. We're offering new fabrics, and then we're also doing customizing of jackets, skirts, and shirts. So you name it, you can get it. So if you're interested in finding a pair of jeans, come and find me in Glade Springs. Thank you. Any questions? I've skipped around a bunch, sorry.
So you're currently outsourcing all of your production to the manufacturing?
Well, right now, I've got a weird relationship with them. I have quit my full-time job, and I'm working there 3 days a week, manufacturing them myself. I'm basically renting the space through them.
So where do you see yourself in the next 3 to 5 years? If this takes off the way you think, what do you see its potential to be?
I hopefully see myself as a very successful business, kind of that go-to guy that, you're looking for a pair of jeans that fits great, you come to me, and as far as money, I plan on within the next, actually in year 3, I think we've, it wasn't on here, but projected sales of over $50,000. And that was a modest growth scale for me. Obviously, I hope to be doing $70,000 to $100,000, and with 10 employees, being able to manufacture these at 100 pairs of jeans a week. Right now, I'm able to do 10 to 20 pairs in 2 to 3 weeks myself. So it'd be nice to have some help.
So the equipment that you mentioned that you want to purchase, do you have a space now that you're working out of?
Right now, sorry, go ahead. Right now, I've got a space in Glade Spring. It's a small one, so that's where I'm going to keep my actual storefront, and it's kind of a show space right now. You can see samples in there, and clients come in there to get custom pieces. But in year 2 and 3, actually in year 3, I want to launch a manufacturing company, and hopefully do it through the Abingdon Business Incubator, so where I can rent a space and start manufacturing these jeans. I'm bringing in about $4,000 worth of equipment right now into the business that I've already pre-purchased, but it's God. There's other things that I need, and so I'm being able to produce these at a smaller level, mainly because I don't have the full line of equipment that I need to produce it at a larger level.
And what's your margin percentage-wise on a pair of jeans?
Like, what am I making? Okay, so right now, I purchased the jeans, and right now it's fixed through LC King, so we've kind of figured that out. It basically costs $35 to make a pair of jeans through them, and that's including their zipper and I've got a custom button, but like their supplies, the thread and everything. It costs me about $6 per yard of fabric, and it takes 2 to make a pair of jeans. So I'm retailing these jeans at $168. I'm making anywhere $75 to $80 off a pair of jeans. So everything is profit for me right now. Thank you so much. Okay, you need that too.
Thank you. You don't have anything to hold it? Nope. What about your pants? Sorry, your pants.
Hi there. My name is Katie Lamb, and I am introducing to you Me and Little Tree. This is a startup business in Damascus. We are going to be a studio, exhibition, and retail space that provides a unique and memorable shopping experience. We're going to provide modest prices for smaller pieces, as well as one-of-a-kind commissions and collections appealing to clients with larger means. This minority woman-owned business offers a unique opportunity to contribute to the arts, promote tourism, and to provide hands-on training and employment for special needs individuals deprived of conventional possibilities. I too like that. I'm a teacher, so I have students that will need jobs. So here's my hook. It's not a bike shop. It's the Cat's Meow. And I'm going to be taking this existing building in Damascus, which is located behind my mother's house. This is the property that I grew up on also. She has given me the building, and so we're going to be renovating this. This is the before picture. And the Damascus Town Connector Path is going to be coming right through here. So that will be window, storefront there. So we're wanting to renovate into this retail space. When they come into our store, we want them to feel at home, but we also want to provide an atmosphere that evokes an eclectic, sophisticated, and classy environment offering quality handmade goods. Not only will store visitors enjoy the pleasure of shopping, but they'll be able to see the artists at work in the studio portion of the business as well. We're going to be offering products, Iron Mountain Stoneware, which is my mother's company that she founded many years ago, and it is no longer producing, but we have an extensive inventory of this stuff and want to share it with folks. It's pretty sought after. We're also going to have fused glass items, other accessories, fiber art, furniture and home decor, and Appalachian art from other local artists. So I got my start in the family business. I have experience since I was 5 years old. This is me, and that is me with my mother. The Iron Mountain Stoneware part of the business is set apart from others in that it will include the private collections of Nancy Patterson Lamb, the founder and creator of Iron Mountain, and then Katie Lamb, me, her daughter. An area of the store will be devoted to a permanent exhibition of the stoneware, and then this display, as well as Iron Mountain inventory, will attract many collectors who seek Iron Mountain pieces. Created in the studio are going to be fused glass sinks, fused glass fountains, fused glass bowls, and some fused glass jewelry as well. Some other fashion accessories, some fiber art, some wall art, and furniture and home decor. All of these things will be created in the studio. And then also from other local artists, we'll have artwork from them to share. Okay, my marketing strategy. Location, location, location. This building is in a primo spot, just a block off the main street in Damascus. Damascus is nationally recognized as Trail Town, USA, and is a major tourist destination with large volumes of tourist traffic from the 3 states of Virginia, Tennessee, and North Carolina. And as I said, the building is situated on the Downtown Connector Trail, which is part of the Damascus Revitalization Program, and I'm seeking funding from them also to help with the facade program, and they will match up to $10,000. Me and Little Tree reflects the nature and beauty of the area with its unique, locally crafted products. And we too plan to use social media to will be utilized for exposure and advertisement, as well as printed material and, of course, word of mouth. And my mother has tons of fans. I've been asked already by several of her fans and friends, would I have a pre-opening before the grand opening, because they want the first opportunity to buy these products. So my primary target market will include individuals seeking nature and outdoor activities who also look for art and culture. Our customer base will not only include these tourists, but will also comprise of residents and non-residents wanting to purchase custom items for decorating and improving their homes and offices. And that's where the fountains come in, and the fused glass sinks, and the wall hangings, and the home decor. Prices will vary. I think I said that before. We'll have lower end pricing items and then higher end pricing items. So it's going to be amazing. Cash flow projections. Okay, I'm a new business owner. This is my first time doing this, and this was the most difficult part of this whole business plan. So I might have been a little on the top end of this, but I dream big. Anyway, so for the first year of business, I have projected $27,000 with a grand opening in October of Me and Little Trees retail store with some internet sales. I plan to apply for a loan for $25,000 to renovate the building and remodel the building. So that, with my salary, because I have a full-time job, all of that totals $96,533. So that's the projected income. Projected expenses for the first year of business, including renovation costs, total $42,900. For the second year of business, I have projected $45,100 for gross income, including internet sales and Me and Little Tree retail transactions. With projected sales and a salary from my current position, because I don't know if I'll be ready to give that up yet, the incoming cash flow is going to be $85,000. Projected expenses for the second year of business are $42,400, and that includes a minimal salary for me and also a part-time job for a new employee. Meet the management. That's me, because I am the business owner. I'm the primary manager and sole employee. Therefore, I will be responsible for all facets of the operation. Challenges, financial projections, time, because I'm going to have 2 full-time jobs. Funding, trying to find the right loans and how to get the money I need to establish the business. Seasonal tourism, which I hope to offset with internet sales, and management team consists of me. For expansion, we want additional products, expansion of building for additional retail space, and additional jobs. Additional jobs for people like Tom. Very passionate about this. He's a very capable human being. He can do anything, and he just needs a little more time, a little kindness, and some patience. So I want to provide jobs for Tom and people like Tom. So, it's Me and Little Tree. It's not a bike shop. It's the cat's meow. Any questions?
You're a startup in Damascus.
Yes, sir.
With the Iron Mountain product, will those be replenished or what's that on their own?
Well, I plan to, it's kind of, some of it is trade also. People like to trade things. But I plan to attend, salvage it wherever I can at estate sales or whatever to try to replenish it. But that's why I want to have the kind of a museum to my mom to display her things, like the one-of-a-kind pieces. Oh, yeah, it's going to be amazing.
I appreciate your financial.
Thank you.
So are you planning to open on a limited hour basis in the beginning?
In the beginning, it will have to be because I have a full-time job, but I'm a teacher, so that full-time job ends at 3:30. So then I'll just put whatever hours I need to into the evening and on the weekends.
We'll be able to work more during the summer.
Oh, yeah. That's when it's on. Yep. Mm-hmm.
And are you making the sinks now, or does someone make those for you?
I haven't started producing any of the larger glass items. Right now, I've only done the smaller glass items, and it is a startup business, but and in the business plan, I gave you the equipment that I'm going to need and pricing for that and whatnot. But I see a huge market for the larger ones, the fountains and the sinks, because no one in this area is really doing that sort of thing. And tabletops, we want to kind of expand into that, and sculptures. Well, I have obtained the meandlittletree.com domain, and so at this point, I am working on a website for that. So we will have internet sales as well. Oh, I'm running off with the microphone.
And we want pictures of all the challengers, we want pictures.
So everybody goes. Take a little break and we'll have a picture outside.
Actually, we'll try to cover this backdrop here in a second. Okay, challengers, we're going to take one. If you will come up and we'll kind of stand here in front of this backdrop, please. Oh, yeah.
Oh, he doesn't know about the picture. He thought it was out there.
Well, who's he?
Clothing guy.
Stephen?
Yeah. I never know his name. Y'all are dog people. Yeah.
It's okay.
Dog people cleaners. Yeah, you're like, so I said, he's
We got a short one back there.
How are we? Are we okay? Looking good. You believe how bright that light is.
Is that everybody?
I think we're missing one.
Yeah, okay, let's wait.
Okay. He's gonna make me a pair of pants that make my butt look curvy. Mine's flat. Why are you looking at the flat?
Y'all can't move up, can you?
Yeah? We can move out.
Because I see some are right in the, still in your face, but just a moment. Just talk amongst yourselves.
They won't let me. They probably would. Oh, ask him if you can bring my headband.
Is he well behaved?
Yes. No, he won't. You can give him my dog cookies. I had him up there. No, you didn't.
I'll watch you pop, favorite bubbles. Anybody want to sing?
Sing.
Raindrops keep falling on my head. We could talk about her.
She would come right in if we did.
Did you hear what she said? What we doing?
Right out of break, can we just let everyone know where the order is? Because our numbers are way off of where we're actually at.
You have to walk all the way down.
Are you, what are you on the watch?
Yeah.
What is it like? 3 years.
Well, then you and I should keep in contact.
I looked at one of Tracy's office.
There she is, there she is. They had been wanting to talk about you, and I defended you the whole time.
Put that down.
Okay, let's go outside and let's see if we can find a spot out here. Oh, wait, we
We gotta have Marla. For the picture.
Is this too late? Does this outfit my?
Come in here, untie this jacket like I'm hiding.
Used to be one.
That's a good idea.
We love his clothes.
My, what voluptuous leather you have.
Smile, smile.
She's taking a video, aren't you?
Are you taking a video, Sandy?
I'm doing a little bit of both.
Okay.
Hello.
They wanted us to
Okay.
see.
Let's see if we can find a spot
I
outside.
need Marla to sing.
Where did it go? I guess he's packing right now.
All these pitches have been just great. Really good. I'm so proud of everybody. Nicole, did you have
Presentation, no. Just make everybody look amazing.
Okay.
Stick on my back.
You could either just put it on the front of your,
Does that work?
yeah.
Thank you. There's a business plan and the appendix in there if you need it. Or you just need to do some light reading tonight.
Allergies or anything too we can get?
Ready? All right, I am Paul Godola. I own, right now, Iron Mountain CrossFit here in Abingdon with my wife, and she could not be with us tonight, but my partner in the business plan I'm talking tonight on the legal entity is Sean Hall, and his wife is also partner Paige, will be involved in the business. And what I'm here to talk about tonight is called Iron Mountain Endurance. I have it on my shirt. I think everyone's received a sticker with it on there. Iron Mountain Endurance and Community Fitness is located in Damascus, Virginia. Right now, we are considered a startup because Sean and Paige bought into the business from Shelley and I this past December, and we are opened right now. What I'm going to tell you about tonight is exactly what we're doing so far, what our plan is, and where we see ourselves going in the future, and what we'd like to do with the money. We'd actually be applying for a loan in addition to if we were granted the privilege of winning this business challenge. You know, we'd like to get a loan also. So right now we are a established gym or fitness center in Damascus. We have about 50 to 60 active paying members, whether it's on a monthly basis or on a pass card paying basis. We're paying all of our overhead without a problem as far as rent, utilities, insurance, and even internet, so we can have Wi-Fi for our members there. We have full set of weights, dumbbells, plates, barbells, that sort of equipment. We have a lot of cardio equipment, and then we also have a studio room. We're offering some classes right now. Two of our most popular classes are mindfulness movement, which is kind of a unique class right now, and it's definitely not seen anywhere in the area, and I'm not sure it's seen anywhere in the country, in all honesty. And another class called mobility, which is nothing necessarily unique to the country or to the area, but what it is, it's not going to go by the wayside. It's not just a trend. What we do is teach functional movement patterns, and it doesn't matter if you do yoga or if you're weightlifting, whatever. The human body moves the same way, and that's what we teach is functional movement patterns. So that's not going to go away, and in our classes, that's what we're working on all the time. We have a couple things that we think are really unique to our business, and really are trying to help out the community. So for one is when Shelley and I started the gym, we were literally, people came to my house, some of the members that had been coming to see us in Abingdon asked, we live in Damascus, and they asked, you know, would you open a gym here in Damascus? And my first reaction, I'd managed Adventure Damascus, I know what life is like in Damascus, was there's no way, a gym's not going to work. But 10 people came directly to my house and asked us to open it. So we talked about it with them, found out what they want, talked to different people in the community about how we could get that going. One of the ideas was, what else can we bring in? So we were looking for a business that would be mutually beneficial relationship for both businesses. And very conveniently, we got the good folks from White Birch Juice to put one of their pods in our building. We were also looking, what else can we do? So the gym, of course, at this time, we didn't even know if the gym was going to be working and be as sound as it is. But one thing we're looking in the future, can we add some retail to it? So Sean and I started talking, and one day Sean was looking for a pair of running shoes to run an ultra running race, and he had to go all the way to Asheville, I believe, to get it. That was the closest place he could find. And so we're looking, and there's, would be seemingly, maybe competition in Damascus with Mount Rogers Outfitters, Sundog Outfitters, Adventure Damascus over in Abington, with Highland Ski House. But none of these places are catering to ultra running and any of the really endurance sports. They have hiking. Of course, in Damascus, the Creeper Trail is gigantic, but no one's working on triathlon, equipment. We could get into, in the future, more into that end, higher end mountain bikes, because again, even though Damascus is using that kind of equipment right now, it's pretty much all Creeper Trail bikes. So we could also down the road get even a mechanic going. There's really not a good high-end mechanic in Damascus. That'd be something that we could produce as a job for someone. And I'll answer more questions about that at the end if you're interested, but I want to share another thing that we're doing with the community, and that is we're thinking we're going to have some folks that might have some financial hardships, or we might have some students that are just so active, they have, they're playing a sport, they're in band, they're in a musical, whatever it may be, they may not have time to have a job. So we decided to create an internship program where they could come in, learn about the gym, learn about the operations of the gym in exchange for gym time. And that's working out pretty well, and if we can proceed with our plan, which is to expand this retail operations, now we're looking at a whole another area that we can help them with. So that's kind of the main thing, is how can we help these the local businesses, the local people, how can we work together? One of our other ideas, and we've so far partnered with the Old Mill and the Creeper Trail Cottages, where they've helped kind of contribute to us with a one-time either yearly fee or a month-to-month membership for their guests in their cottages or in their hotel. We're looking to sell maybe more of those. We're going to, with the retail idea, we're going to give them 10% for contributing to us in the retail shop. We can give the guests some coupons when they come in and hopefully generate some business there. Some of the other things we're thinking about, no one is renting SUP boards, stand-up paddle boards in Damascus. There's some lakes. The closest one of those is down in, that's renting anything, is in on Bristol and Main Street, so a good 30 minutes away. So we're thinking we might be able to expand that way too. We really feel that there's endless possibilities on our expansion as far as the retail end would go. Fortunately for us, right now with myself and my wife has a job, full-time job, and then with the business in Abingdon, and then Sean and Paige each own their own business. We don't have to make this a living for ourselves right now. We think we can hire 2 part-time people right away. I have a lot of experience. My degree is actually in education. I was director of franchise training for a while for Quaker Steak and Lube. I literally worked at the Original, if you're familiar with that, down in Bristol. I have a lot of experience training people. I feel very confident that we can teach these folks what we need to, what they need to know to give the correct information to the folks coming in the door when they do it. If we were to win the challenge, to win the money, or if we were just to get our loan, which of course we're looking for anyways, a couple things we'd like to do. One is we could just upgrade our point of sale system. That would be very beneficial for our employees. It's one thing when we're working it, you kind of know what's going on, but to have a nice system with scanner, cash register, all that. We already have an online store going, set up through Shopify. And then of course with the kind of the crossover business, we can update any or like increase kind of our depth of certification. So other certifications that we can get, a yoga certification for any of us really, and help other people going that way. And of course with the retail end and equipment, it's endless of what you could spend money on, so it's really not a debate. But that'd probably be the best places for us to spend it, where right now we'd have to spend it either on equipment or the retail end to get started. If we could get some of these other things, it would be more valuable for us, and kind of feel like we had extra money to do that. There you go. Thank you very much.
So you want to expand your business into retail, like paddle boards, things like that. What kind of an impact will that have, do you think, in your market?
In like Damascus, I think the sky's the limit on that. Is right now, the outfitters are there are concentrating on the Creeper Trail and hiking primarily. So ultra running is blowing up. There's several races that are right in Damascus this year. There's something like 55 races just in eastern Tennessee, western North Carolina, and southwest Virginia this calendar year into ultra running. No one's offering ultra running shoes, kind of ultra running gear. A little bit of crossover with those places in terms of competition. But it's definitely, as we're bringing in, Creeper Trail Cottages is trying to bring in some running groups So we really feel like that's our first thing. And again, we're fortunate. We don't have to force this issue of trying to get too much too fast. So down the road, the other thing we want to try to start right away, but could really expand, is that stand-up paddle boards, renting maybe up to Bear Tree Lake, or all the way down to Holston. We're thinking about just doing kind of like a card where the folks could have, stand-up paddleboard prices, and then the map where they're going on the back, ways to get them out, just to start renting it. I honestly don't know, but that's, again, kind of in our position, something we think we can try to start going with. And then beyond that, the higher-end mountain bikes, again, not being sold in Damascus, not being worked on in Damascus. Beyond that, we have a room in the back that is actually right now more or less empty. We could do some bouldering, a bouldering wall or a climbing wall. There's out in Hidden Valley, out here outside Abingdon, the climbing scene is kind of blowing up right now. So we feel there's really a lot of ways for us to grow that we don't have to force our way into right away because of our situation, and still offer some jobs to some folks. Thank you all. And everybody that received the bottle, if you open it up, you may have won a 1-month unlimited membership, and we gave it to, it's available for both Damascus or Abingdon, depends on where you live, sorry. Whichever one you want to use.
Let's move this back up.
Huh?
Can we move this back up?
Do we have a winner? You win? 3 burpees, nice.
This on there?
Yep. And I'm gonna start.
I'll get it. Good luck. Let me just get this on.
I'm gonna step into the hall. And you'll set that up there. I'm starting from the hall. We're ready. You can put your stuff down in there. Or, yeah, it's fine. Yeah, show me to push this side of here. Okay, gotcha. Okay. Don't put them there yet. They can see you. Oh, I want to say we'd like to take a minute to introduce ourselves and do this to get us eased up. Go ahead. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together and make welcome from Bristol, Virginia, Tennessee, Entertainment Company. We would just like to take a quick minute to introduce ourselves. I'm Marlon. I'm going to sing the lead. Pleasure meeting you. I'll sing the lead. Good to see you. Good to see you. All right, get it, girl. We're the Crooked Road General Store, Highway 58. Let us entertain you. Let us make you smile. Let us sing a blues song, an old and then a new song. We're very versatile. We'll sing a swing song, a rowdy ring-a-ding song. We want your spirits to climb, climb, climb. So let us entertain you, and you'll have a real good time. Yes, sir. You'll have a wonderful time at the Crooked Road General Store. Something like that. Let's hear it for Entertainment Company. Bye, y'all. So, my name is Marla, and I own the Crooked Road General Store. It's out on the renowned Highway 58, which is known as Virginia's Heritage Music Trail. I've been there about 6 years, and I'm doing really well. And got a lot of help from the beginning with just a dream, just a building that I wanted to go to and revive that building. There was a series of pictures taken at that time, and when we took the pictures, a good buddy of mine got the book and thumbed through it and said, don't ever go back to that. The friend of mine who went with me to see if it was a good idea that I had, thought I was crazy and thought I would be over it in just a day or two. But instead, I took a 100-year-old building and went inside of it with a retired engineer buddy of mine and created all new everything except for I didn't change the floor. I went back to the feel of the old grocery store and the old stage and the old playing checkers around the tubs and just sitting at the table and talking over stuff that you wanted to catch up with things with your neighbor. In the meantime, I sold some hot dogs and some hamburgers and some French fries and good old Coca-Colas off of ice. And a couple of us got together to play some music. As we started to play the music, a couple of friends stopped by and wanted to see how that was going, brought their instruments, and the next thing you knew, we had somebody wanting to play every day. They would just come hang out with us. So then we turned it into a Monday night event. I want to start by saying the best thing about my business is on Highway 58. I can walk to you, ma'am, and be right at the highway there. The presence that I have is being halfway between Kentucky and North Carolina on the Crooked Road, which is mapped on every tourism effort here in Virginia especially. Being the midway point and also the new route that's been taken from the far end of it in the Kentucky end is 75 to take in 23 to come across the mountain now. They're not going down to 40 in Knoxville anymore. They're coming on around the bendy roads and staying on Highway 58, which is known for its music. Some of the stops are off of 58, and so ours has the privilege of being right on the road there. So opened it up, and it's just been one thing after another. And quite honestly, I'll just tell you that right up the very middle of it, there was a lot of health issues that sort of put the brakes on the road. But this is what it's done since then. When I went to the store originally, it had everything was faced on the front with just chain link fence, and it was piled full of propane tanks. And this is just a little sign of putting a porch across the front with my brother's help and going inside, but nothing too fancy, and just wanted to keep the integrity of the building. I also went inside and took everything out that was in there, literally down to nothing but the floor, stripped every bit of it myself, did all of the work myself except the sheetrock, put the instruments in, built the stage, built the shelving, put the ceilings in, took care of all of the things that were in the way, but still, as you can see, kept the old cash registers. I wanted everything to be old-fashioned except the internet and the flat screen TV and the sound systems there. So our menu, the way we have made our money so far, is serving, we started with a breakfast and lunch, and now we're down to our show on Monday. We're literally open one day a week. We have what we call a blue plate supper, and we have music venues from everything from Elvis to bluegrass to local bands that perform that just want a chance to get on the stage there. We're known for our desserts. Everything is homemade, and she works really hard. We have a cook there. All of the employees that have been with the store are all volunteer. 3 in the beginning in the first year, and in the last 5 years I have 6 more, so there are a total of 9 people who dedicate all of their time and energy to the store. Some of the things that we have done, we're part of everything that's musical. Being associated on the Crooked Road, it's really easy to say, and there's not much of an explanation needed when we tell people who we are. But we also have all kinds of other music going on. Our biggest thing is the support of the Sweet Adelines. Outside of the bluegrass is we support the Sweet Adelines. They've hosted shows there before and sold tickets to those shows. And we also have a lot of the students who come in and perform a lot of their recitals when they're taking lessons from the teachers here. My dream has come to reality because when I was a kid, all I cared anything about was music, watching the old Hee Haw show. This is Lulu Roman from Hee Haw. She comes to the store 2 times a year. Dale Ann Bradley is 5-time Female Bluegrass Entertainer of the Year, who I want to be just like when I grow up. And then this is Donna Douglas, Ellie Mae Clampett from the Beverly Hillbillies, who just passed away in the last couple of years, but she came and did fundraisers with us 2 times then. My other love is that we want to give back to our community, just as I've loved hearing a lot of you want to do. And our effort has been a thing called the Now Fund, which stands for No Worries. And we have concerts and take our money to buy gas cards for cancer patients in the Tri-Cities so that they can keep the money here at home. Always helping our community. Again, Halloween, I parked the tractor up there and let them do a drive-through Halloween so that it was safe. I have a yellow trailer there that we park at a lot of the events. This particular event is Relay for Life, and it's we sell all of our candy and old-fashioned store products out of that. And also, George and Shirley ride in the Veterans Day Parade every year, so that's a great feeling to me. The door that I put on the stage was from my aunt's house, and it was going to be my autograph door. My stage is called the Old Southern Porch. Put the autograph door up there, and since then it's gotten, literally this is about 2 years in, so it's got thousands of signatures, and we don't sign it anymore. Lots of local people, again, supporting all of these local musicians. This is the biggest one, okay? Do you think maybe someday I could get him to come to the store? After all, I did give him the Crooked Road General Store hat. That's Jordan from The Voice and a good buddy of mine, and it just goes to show what dreaming big in our area here will do for you. So would love to have you out there sometime to come and see us. I've used a lot of money to keep this thing going for a lot of years, and now I could really use some more. Thank you so much. I know who's going first, so hit me on the right side.
Good presentation.
Thank you, sir.
Would have come by. Business plans and businesses are like people with progression.
Yes, sir.
And good job.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
So are you looking to expand, or you just want to stay open the one day a week?
I want to expand. That's what I'm here for now, is the people who have been volunteering for me all of these years. 2 of those are willing to start anytime to part-time hours, and I would like to stick with opening 3 more days a week right now, because that gives me an opportunity to work my other full-time jobs, which I have 2 or 3 of, and of course I own the building, so there's no renting going on there, and I have the privilege of working in a way that I can do these jobs in hours that don't need me there at the store. Once the store is open, those girls can run it. They do all the cooking, which is the big part of it. But mostly what I would like to get into is young people wanting to have the concerts. A lot of people are asking me to rent the space out for that so that the teachers can bring the kids and put them in a real stage environment. We also record the Mountain Music Showcase TV show, and we're live streamed every Monday night. So that gives us an opportunity to get kids who can have a recital, and maybe grandmother lives in another state, they can be there for that. And then also opening the store back up full time, there's a huge opportunity to make a full line of Crooked Road General Store products, which, you know, the fans, I'm a fan of Crooked Road General Store. It makes a good thing to take along with them when they go to a lot of the festivals, can pop it out and take a fan like that. Hats, just anything that I can sell that they can take along back home that says they've been along the Crooked Road without the Crooked Road logo being the same. To date, it's all volunteer. That's what I'd like to do. Yes, sir. I'd like to take it into, those girls just come, and the guys, there's a total of 9 that are there every Monday night for the last 3.5 years with nothing.
How would you use the funds should you win this?
All I want to do is kick off the 3 days a week. If I can start that up, I own all of my equipment. There are no debts on the store other than the building itself, and I own all of the equipment that's in there. There's one piece of equipment I would like to have, but I have another opportunity to purchase that. It's around $2,000. Everything else is there. All of the cookware is there, the stoves, the as I am zoned, I'm able to operate under what's called a general zoning, and I don't have to have a restaurant license to be in that sort of business as long as it's all carry out. Thank you. Thanks so much. Appreciate you.
Okay,
And then
okay,
if you need to do that,
Okay.
just do that green.
all right. I am representing Mojo's Trailside Cafe and Coffee House in Damascus, and for a moment I want you to come to an enchanting place, sometimes referred to as the hub of the universe and the garden spot of the world, but folks around here just call it Damascus. In this quiet, beautiful little town right beside the Creeper Trail, one will find a happening little place, called Mojo's. Mojo's was first started 10 years ago as a coffee shop, and my son bought the business in April 2015 and has largely expanded the menu and is now known as a cafe and a coffee shop. It was owner financed, and he used a family loan to make the down payment. John grew up in Washington County. He graduated from Holston High School, and then he attended culinary school at J. Sargent Reynolds Community College in Richmond. He worked for 20 years in several popular restaurants there, including Joe's Inn in the Fan, the Republic on Broad Street, and Lunch in Smith's Addition. And he gained great experience and knowledge there. After purchasing Mojo's in April, he set about putting his skills into play. And the restaurant quickly gained the reputation of having great food, and the business grew rapidly. Within 8 months, the sales exceeded the previous owner's best year by 36%. And by the end of the first fiscal year, the increase in sales is expected to top 50%. And this translates into 3 new positions and additional revenues for the town and for the state. The business is set up as an LLC with John being the sole owner. He serves American, traditional, and Southern food. His optimism for future growth is based on a study conducted by Andrew Muldrow and Associates. As part of the Business District Revitalization Planning Grant that you've already heard about, the anticipated outcome is to have a thriving local economy in downtown Damascus that is less susceptible to seasonal downturns during the winter. And this study reveals that Damascus needs an additional 15,000 square feet of restaurant space. Additionally, an exciting project in the works is the designation of Damascus as the home for the Appalachian Trail Center. Plans are progressing to purchase a construction site, preferably on Main Street, through town, and to obtain the needed funding for the facility. These agencies that you see here are collaborating to develop this center as a tourist attraction. And this has been identified as a key to the future growth of Damascus, and is expected to attract thousands of visitors each year, increasing the need for restaurant services. Mojo's current goals are to develop a website, create a marketing plan to generate more traffic during the summer, but to develop a faithful following of locals and area residents during the winter when tourism shuts down. We also need outdoor signage to direct individuals to Mojo's. Mojo's long-term goal is to develop a loyal customer base that continuously enjoys a meal at Mojo's, and to create a reputation of quality, consistency, and security that will make Mojo's a leader in the restaurant business. The competition includes 6 other restaurants, and with the exception of Subway, the menus largely consist of processed or fried foods. Now, the only fried food you're going to find at Mojo's is the fried pie that you're currently eating right now. That's the only item that we serve fried. Mojo's is the only restaurant to serve gourmet coffee and smoothies, gluten-free food, and is the only one to offer free Wi-Fi, which is a very popular service for the hikers and the bikers. The staff consists of the owner, who's the manager and chef, 1 line cook, 3 front-end servers, and 1 dishwasher. The menu is moderately priced, from $1.75 for pastries up to $12 for entree items. And the hours of operation are 7 to 5, 7 days a week. Fresh vegetables, meat, and dairy products are used to create the dishes from scratch. Mojo's has a 3-year lease. Parking and bike racks are provided and is a short walk from any B&B in town. The cafe will seat 30 people, while outside dining accommodates 8 to 10 more. And Mojo's accepts cash and or credit cards. Mojo's complies with all zoning laws and is certified with the Department of Health, and it's SWAM certified and is registered with EVA. As we look to the future, we plan to introduce dinner, and this will require 3 additional positions, and the dinner will prove a price of $8 to $25. And we expect initially, as we first start, to turn 3/4 of our tables, which would be about 21 people a night. And that number should grow as people learn about the dinner offering. Up until now, we have capitalized on free marketing: Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and word of mouth. And we spent a small amount this past year on radio advertising, but until our marketing budget grows, we will stick to the freebies. One huge boost occurred when John offered a cooking class here at the Higher Ed Center, which resulted in this beautiful write-up in both the Bristol Herald-Courier and the Washington County News. We saw an immediate increase in traffic. Mojo's is listed on Google and Yelp and receives many beautiful reviews. We conduct a loyalty program where every 10th cup of coffee is free, so that keeps people coming back. We'll create a network to complement the other businesses in town, like for bed and breakfast, a bike shop, an artisan shop. And Mojo's will jointly go together to pay for flyers which feature each business, and each business will support the others. We use group email to notify customers of new menu items and or events. And we provide quality food and beverage complemented by superior service, which is probably our most important thing. That creates a positive experience that makes people want to come back, and we become a destination for them. We are marketing 4 segments. The locals, of course. We want them coming in. But the tourist, it is expected, it's not 200,000, it is 250,000 people a year who come through Damascus. And the hikers and bikers work up a huge appetite. Commuters, VDOT shows that 4,300 vehicles pass by Mojo's front door every day. Our cash projections are based on a proven track record. For 2015, we've included a moderate increase for 2016 with the dinner offering, and we've included some future capital needs which will, require some additional revenue. The challenges we're facing is a small work pool from which to hire and downturn in the winter. The $5,000 would be used to develop a website and a marketing plan targeted toward we want to continue the growth in the summer. I mean, it's overwhelming in the summer. But then when winter comes, we have to draw not just from Damascus, but from other places too. And word of mouth is doing that. This winter has been good. But several of the other restaurants have closed for the winter. We've remained open, and the business has been very good. As I say, by the end of April, which will be our fiscal year, we expect to have grossed over $200,000.
Do any of the other 6 restaurants in Damascus, do they offer dinner?
Right now, that offering is very limited. We have one cafe, I think they stay open till 7. And then we have one that maybe stays open on Friday and Saturday nights until about 8. But that's it. So the need is great. Now, in the summertime, when the other businesses open up, yes, the dinner offering will be available.
So what's this Appalachian
That's a center where all of the, it's a center for the Appalachian Trail, is basically what it is.
So it's gonna be
It
the
would-
center along the
Yes,
whole.
and it would provide training, educational programming, just a hub where anyone interested in the trail could come. It's huge.
Just to help her out on that, I don't mind. It's definitely like a training center, and they're looking at several places along the AP, and Damascus is definitely right up there with it. They're looking to go right downtown with it. I mean, if it comes into Damascus, it's kind of a deal breaker with it. Katie, you talked about the trail, the plan, that's all part of that master plan, the Damascus revitalization.
It's $1 million.
ATC, the Appalachian Trail Conservancy, is actually bringing the bill up to you.
Yeah,
Competition for it with some other places along the trail.
Yeah.
So you're
I
hoping
can
to be
help
able to
with
win
that a
this.
little bit. Damascus, Lake Springs, and several other small communities are identified as at-risk communities. So the Department of Housing and Community Development through the Mount Rogers Planning District is like an 80-20 match. So those communities get libraries and centers and things that will help revitalize that community. So, any more questions, judges? I am so thrilled. This is our third year. I can honestly say that these are the best pitches I've ever heard. I want $5,000 for everybody. You all have done such a great job. So on March the 17th, Sandy hand-delivered, and one of the deliveries went to Galax?
One went to Galax, one went to Christiansburg, and one went to Kingsburg.
So she got in her car Monday morning and drove the business plans to the judges, and the judges are scoring those business plans now. The announcement will be made here at the Higher Ed Center on March the 17th in the Grand Hall
7:30 a.m.
at 7:30 a.m. at the Chamber of Commerce third Thursday breakfast. Senator Carrico has confirmed, Delegate Pillion has tentatively confirmed, and Whitney Bonham with the IDA has confirmed to be there to present and talk about economic development efforts in Washington County. So please, everyone come. There will be one Glade Springs award, one Damascus award, and then one Washington County award, which means everybody in here qualifies for the Washington County award for the existing, and there'll be one Washington County award for the startup. So we're giving away 4 $5,000 prizes. For the existing and the startup, that is all Washington County, and it doesn't matter which community, there is a second place and a third place, which is $1,500 for second and $500 for third. The winner, of course, of the highest points gets the Washington County award, and that also includes, and that's for the startup, and that includes a year's CPA services and your corporate formation or changes in your corporate formation, whether it be an LLC or a partnership or whatever. Penn Stewart will be doing that as part of the prize. If the winner for the Washington County Award has a need for space, they will get half-price rent at the incubator also. So we are thrilled. Oh yeah, and free chamber membership for 1 year for yeah, that's what I was going to say, for each winner in the 4 categories we just talked about. So there's lots of opportunities for somebody to win something. We hope that you can all come on March the 17th here in the Grand Hall at 7:30 for the awards ceremony, and good luck.
And I will point out, all these logos on the back These are our sponsors. We could not do this without our sponsors, so if you're out and you know anybody from that, just say, hey, thanks for doing this. 'Cause, I've told you this before, we're the only challenge that's mostly funded primarily from the local governments, and that stands a lot, and I know other communities are seeing that this is part of economic development, so, but that's all, folks. Hey, by the way, if you will, if you're coming to the breakfast, please let me